Okay. Now truly our final story for today. The early previews of Rise of the Ronin have released. Not the official reviews yet. The review embargo has not lifted, but people are allowed today to post up their preview impressions on the game. And I want to read a few of these to you because it's kind of interesting. Okay. So here's one from Shannon Grixty. Rise of the Ronin is an open world Souls-like that feels like Assassin's Creed meets Sekiro, but it's a lot more accessible due to having difficulty levels and have cats that you can cuddle as well. Interesting. Let's read another take. This one is from Kami or Okami13. Rise of the Ronin hands-on previews are dropping. It's a mix of Assassin's Creed, Neo, and Sekiro. It's a large open world, fun traversal with glider and grappling hook, good performance with 3 different visual modes, great art design, has different difficulty options, but not the best visuals. See, listen, this is starting to sound like something that I know. Basically, when I'm reading these previews, I'm thinking to myself, this definitely is reminiscent of something. It sounds to me, now bear with me here, it sounds to me like it's a combination of 2 games that people really liked. Ghost of Tsushima and Elden Ring. It sounds like a fusion of the 2 games. It's stealth combat, but also interesting, challenging combat mechanics, parkour, exploration, open world, right? But at the same time, it's accessible because it's like Elden Ring was accessible because of summons and shit like that. But they're saying here it's accessible because it has difficulty settings. So if it's too hard, you can make it easier, and then it's more about the traversal and exploration rather than the difficult combat, right? But that's what it sounds like to me. And the key thing here is not so good visuals. What I'm seeing as the major criticisms of the visuals is that it basically performs like a PS4 game. Now, who's going to say that PS4 games are bad? I don't think any of us are. They're definitely at this point a last-gen situation. But if you're going to tell me that the game has tons of traversal, open world stuff, great exploration, great combat, everything's good, but the visuals aren't so good, I don't really care. That's my take anyway. But some people today are like, well, I just want the complete package. Why can't we get the complete package? Why are the visuals inferior? To which I will counter, well, what about Elden Ring? You know, when Elden Ring came out, let's be honest, did the graphics look like a brand new sparkling PS5 game? No, it looked like a kind of a best-in-class PS4 game. But no one cared. This day we're still playing Elden Ring and no one's mentioning the graphics. It's as if people just don't care because it's Elden Ring from FromSoft, right? So for me, I hear this and I'm like, maybe it won't be that big of a deal. I would hope not. But now I'm going to give you a negative perspective. Here's someone who actually doesn't like it. And I actually want to give some stuff here too. So mediocre storytelling, direction, and failed voice acting. I don't know about that, but they're saying that voice acting is not very good. The open world experience is boring and lifeless. It has some fun side activities, but does not live up to the standards of a good open world in this era. The technical performance is shameful, whether it is the game's graphical appearance, which looks like it's from the beginning of the last gen, or the game's performance in terms of frames or general technical weakness of the ideas and their implementations. The game is very superficial in terms of the world and the way tasks and stages are designed. It's not normal that I start to feel bored after only 2 or 3 hours. And although it's the biggest focus of the gameplay still has some problems as well. So basically what I'm hearing here is some people are probably really going to like it. Some might not, because it depends on really what you're looking for in the game. And obviously that person is a lot more critical of it, right? Because maybe they were looking for something else. I'm not sure. It's hard, again, as usual, it's very hard to judge these games early because until you've actually seen a lot of gameplay of it or played it yourself, like those sound like 2 completely different games from how the people described them, right? Like from the vibe I'm getting is that it's going to basically be kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, where it's going to be challenging, but not as challenging as a Souls game. There's going to be open world stuff, and some of it will be very fun, and other will feel samey and repetitive, depending on, you know, how much of it you actually tackle. The The story will be pretty good, but maybe not the best ever written, right? And the visual. See, the thing about Ghost of Tsushima was I felt like that was best in class visuals for PS4. And since this is PS5 and they're kind of saying, oh, the visuals aren't that good, I am expecting the game to maybe look like Elden Ring. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's going to be like kind of like Elden Ring, which I'm okay with. I was totally okay with Elden Ring's graphics. I didn't have an issue with that. Some people who are just like sticklers for graphics, like, oh my God, it's not living up to the potential of the current gen consoles. Maybe they won't like it. But for me, I don't really care. From what I'm hearing in the previews, it's mostly good. I'm curious how people are going to review this game. You know, I'm also curious how long it is. You know, if it's a huge open world like they're saying, maybe it's super long, another super long game. At least it's not a traditional RPG, thankfully. So it'll be a little different than what other stuff that we've been doing, because we need that break. We need it to break up and be different from all the RPGs I'm playing. But at the same time, if it's another 100-hour game, it's like, oh no, another. Really, they've done it again. Yet another 100-hour game. I'm just. I seriously hope not. I guess we'll see though. But anyway, the early previews sound promising. Promising. But we won't really know, I feel like, until number one, the review embargo lifts and the real reviews come out, and then you start to see the gameplay. And of course, until we finally get to play it. But I'm playing it. So that's in a week from Friday, by the way.